Welcome to Blerds. Here we have a black person perspective. Welcome to Blerds. Here we show our love for anime from a black person's perspective. We have reviews, discussions on all type of topics from DC to anime. Hell, even some mangas. You Negroes want to learn why Frieza keeps calling us monkeys? You stay subscribed. Come on, guys.
You want to watch?
Can't really do another true crime.
What about?
Oh my god. She even has your hair.
The first question any platform is going to ask is, what's the hook?
First step is to recognize that you're not in control of this.
Is that Salma Hayek?
Bingo.
How's the coffee?
Dog shit.
I did not say that like that.
This is an adaptation of Joan's life.
Can everybody that has Streamberry watch this?
Hey, how you doing out there? Cool. Fuck!
This guy had been abducting people.
So that's what your documentary
That was a crazy one.
The details are so awful, it is irresistible.
That one was good. That was probably my favorite one.
2 years down on the mission, the man is
That's
lost.
the only one that got me. That was fucked up too, cause the girlfriend died. Yeah. How the fuck you trip on some rocks though? That shit crazy. But
She got kicked off the movie set weeks ago. Nick's offering
that was a good episode too. I ain't see that one yet.
Half of these assholes would kill themselves if we didn't take their picture.
Miss Day?
This way, you stink!
Oh, my brother said that one was good. I gotta go see that one. That one's good too. Did you see that? Demon 79 though.
I'm a crazy person.
You look crazy.
I'm a murderer.
He do look crazy.
You be all crazy one.
The whole 70s aesthetic was fire.
It has taken you over. And you must be humble in the face of it.
The things they can do.
You not seen Joan is Awful?
No, but
They did a good job. They did a good job with that. Yeah. That was pretty fire. Okay, so Joan is Awful. That's probably the top of the top. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. The Joan is Awful episode was really good. Yeah. Because it really explored this idea that we really do live in like a holographic matrix. For sure. In that, like, at the end where she finds the quantum computer, it's really like, it's really jarring because he says, the dude in the computer room says, this isn't the first, you're not base Joan. Yeah. Meaning you're not the first Joan, you're not the real Joan. Now that part fucked me up because I'm like, wait a minute. Damn, it made you think. Like, we're watching Netflix, and the thing that fucked me up even more, if you watch on the TV show, Netflix is called something else. Like in our reality, it's called Netflix, and theirs is called Streamberry. In the base reality, it was something else. I don't even remember the name. Yeah. But it wasn't Streamberry. Yeah. But it had the same font. In a matrix, like you know when you look into a mirror and you keep, like you hold a mirror up to a mirror and it's like infinite. Yeah. Like that type of feel. Yeah. That's what it was, and that was just. That shit's crazy. Insane. Yeah. What about the episode where the guys were in space and had robots on Earth? And see, you know what? Wasn't it the wife's idea to let the homie come down and use his? No, it was the husband's idea, but that was only because he's up in space with him, like. Right, so he's feeling his pain. Right. You know he's feeling his energy. Right. Okay. I thought it was the wife's idea, like, honey, just let him come down for a little bit and blah blah blah. He was like, well, that's. No, because remember at first she was against it. She was kind of like, I don't know. That's kind of weird, don't you think? Like, right. Okay. Because, you know what I'm saying? Your son's going to be there. Yeah. It's just going to be weird as fuck. Like, you're acting weird. All of a sudden, now you can paint. Like, nigga. Right. Now you can paint, nigga. Hey. Like, what the fuck? Look, I knew he was going to try to fuck it, though. I knew he was gonna try to smash. I knew he was gonna try to smash. It was inevitable. The moment he came down and he's like how everything was so beautiful, Yeah, the wife was beautiful too. Yeah, he seen that. Yeah. He's like, yeah,
not really. She's like the most plain looking lady. I don't get it. Shit. No offense to you, lady.
Shit.
I don't know your name, but sorry, but I don't see it.
She beautiful when you ain't got nothing else.
Yeah, true shit. Cause let's talk about that. So in this episode, there are 2 astronauts, all right?
Yeah.
And they're doing their thing in space on the space station. And they have robots on Earth that they can shoot their consciousness to, pretty much. They get in this machine and it sends their consciousness to their robotic counterparts, all right? So this is around the time where Charles Manson was doing his thing, and this is like one of those occult type killings, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you're a fucking robot, fake ass human thing, I'm gonna kill you type shit. It was no like real rhyme or reason behind it. They were just like, oh, you're not human, so this isn't murder type shit, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So they killed the robot and killed his family though. I mean, that was murder.
It's, you know what, it was crazy to me. I'm starting to realize about all the episodes, well, a lot of them, because I didn't finish watching all of them. It's like it's back in the day,
yeah,
but it's in the future at the same time.
Nah, I'm thinking this is like around the moon landing times.
But they didn't have no robot replicas.
Not that we know.
Well, yeah, not that we know.
Right. I mean,
because look at the car they was driving when he was like, yeah, can we go into town? You know what I'm saying? She pulled out this old driving Miss Daisy yellow ass hoopty, and they went into town. But them robots was clearly high tech because them shits look real as fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So.
Well, I mean, in a lot of the conspiracy theory videos that I watch, especially, they always talk about, you know, being able to download your consciousness into hardware.
Yeah, that was dope.
And that's a real thing. Do you know what Neuralink is?
Neuralink. Yeah.
Neuralink is that.
Yeah. Basically.
So they want to implant a chip into your brain.
Yeah.
So that one day you could download all your memories onto this chip and you remember that video we watched about the synthetic bodies and shit?
Yeah.
That's what that's for. You download the Neuralink chip onto the stack of that, and then you are that person.
Wow.
It's the exact same technology.
That's crazy.
That's what I'm saying. Black Mirror is always like, yeah, the aesthetic is 70s.
Yeah.
But
yeah, cause like the one with Anthony Mackie and the other black guy.
Yeah, and they fucking in the video game.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That was crazy. I don't know why they did that. Why did they do that
I was
shit?
like, they had to pay my boy some good money for that one. I think that was like season 5. So I'm jumping all over the place.
That shit is weird though. That was weird as fuck. Let's just talk about that because, bro, you had these niggas fucking each other in a video game.
It's like they wasn't gay, but they was gay.
It's the intention behind it. It's not so much that you fucking each other in the game.
Like what?
It's that y'all fucking in the game.
In the game.
Like that was weird. And they was both married too.
He talking about, oh, it's nobody like you that feels it. You know, I tried it with different people. This guy, that guy, even with another woman, and it just. I'm like, what?
Why did you say that? Why did you say that?
Y'all been friends for however long, so have y'all been gay? Like,
yo, Anthony Mackie had the baddest wife too. That bitch was bad as fuck.
Yeah, she look good too. I'm like,
man, come on.
She's like, you haven't touched me.
Yeah, you been whacking it off in this game.
I'm like, yo. What is he thinking about? He could have gave his character a little bit more straight values.
Yeah.
Like, then he gets her pregnant. Boom, she slick too, cause she has the baby.
Yeah.
And she take the motherfucking rings off so quick. She's like, I ain't dealing with this shit.
That's what you've been doing?
Game.
Oh,
you go to update first.
Yeah.
Boom. I'm like, oh shit.
Yo, that shit was funny. Okay, so you saw the episode where the demon was in a little talisman?
No, I didn't see that one. I don't want to watch nothing with no demon, no extra shit. I don't like all that shit. If it's gonna be scary, it's gonna be scary. But shit, I'll watch it. But I prefer not to watch no demon shit.
Oh, demon shit's the best.
But you go ahead and give me the rundown of it though. What was your take on it?
Well, I guess there's nothing more British than living on top of a fish and chip shop. That's where we'll find our protagonist, Nita Huck, as Art Garfunkel's song Bright Eyes plays. This was a song originally written as the theme for the animated movie Watership Down, and the bright eyes refer to the rabbit's wide-eyed expression as it navigates a world filled with peril, just like our protagonist. The episode looks like it was filmed on Super 16, which would be common back in 1979 when the story takes place. Nita works in the footwear department of Possett's, where she has to endure her racist co-worker Vicky and customers like Keith Hollinger, who gets a bit intimate with the footwear. And it's here Nita experiences the first of her hallucinations, bashing Vicky's head into the counter and strangling Keith. Just a typical day of work. It's pretty ironic then that we find her reading a book called Creative Visualization, which is all about using mental imagery to produce positive changes in one's life. If it can produce positive ones, can it also produce negative? But to really understand Nita's story, one must understand the political backdrop of 1979 Britain. Rising unemployment, high inflation, and industrial strikes made for a volatile situation, and some, like the National Front Party, used immigrants as a scapegoat for the country's problems. We'll see Vicky reading a National Front flyer which says, "Stop immigration, protect British culture," and Nita will have the letters NF spray painted on her door by some local assholes. Outside of Possett's, we get our first look at Michael Smart, a man running as the Conservative candidate in Tipley. Smart's name can be found in a ton of articles in Episode 2's Loch Henry, and there's even a documentary about him on Streamberry found in Episode 1's Joan is Awful. We'll get to know a little bit more about Mr. Smart and his vision for Britain in a bit. But first, the episode's inciting incident. While being asked by her boss to eat in the basement due to a complaint by Vicky that her lunch smells, Nita uncovers a desk belonging to Possett's founder, Geoffrey Possett. It's said that in his last days, Possett holed himself up here, and it seems he became obsessed with local crimes. Nita uncovers several old articles, the first about a man dying in a fire, the second a man crushed by a wall, and the third a woman's sudden disappearance. Keep in mind this number 3 as it becomes a recurring motif throughout the episode. Now there is a brief mention of someone called Callow in a different article, but unsure if this has any relation to future Prime Minister Michael Callow from Season 1's The National Anthem. Things take a turn when Nita nicks her finger and blood drops on this odd-looking domino. A domino which will later be referred to as a talisman. It kinda looks like a fork with 2 prongs sticking from it, a dead ringer for the White Bear logo from Season 2. For some reason, she ends up taking this talisman with her, and while at home is greeted to the demon known as Gap, who says that the talisman anointed with her blood means they are now linked. She must sacrifice 3 humans over the next 3 days or the world will end. But in order for Gap to help her, she has to agree to it, and in an act of fear, she agrees. Gap is the name of a demon found in the Dictionnaire Infernal, and also a place where you can get some reasonably priced clothing. He's considered a prince of hell with the ability to change his shape and see into the past and future. In our story, he possesses these abilities, but isn't as high-ranking. In fact, he says that Nita is part of his initiation, and should she fail to murder 3 people, he'll be cast out into oblivion for all eternity. No pressure. Later in the episode, while calling his superiors, he refers to himself as a misophase, which according to 10th century Eastern Byzantine religion were one of the lowest class of demons. When Nita accepts Gap's help, notice what happens to the talisman. It has 3 lines instead of 2, each line representing a murder she must commit, with a line disappearing every time she's successful. Does this mean then that the last person to possess this talisman only killed 1 person? And does it have anything to do with the newspaper articles Nita discovered? I have my own theory which I'll share in just a bit. To ease Nita's fears, Gap takes on a form a little more appealing than this and transforms into a singer from German Caribbean vocal group Boney M, something Nita had been watching the previous night. He shows her what will happen should she not kill 3 people. The world will be plunged into fire. As we'll find out later, this will manifest in a nuclear apocalypse between the US and Russia. Fearing the end of the world, Nita embarks on her quest to kill, only targeting people who deserve it. her first victim being Tim Simon. Gap can show Nita what these evil people have done in the hopes of making her kills more justifiable. For example, Nita can see how Tim sexually abuses his daughter, making him a prime candidate to get whacked in the head with a brick. This becomes Nita's first kill, and a line from her talisman disappears. Alerted to the body is Detective Len Fisher, who we first see reading Jean Le Carré's spy novel Smiley's People, which came out in 1979 and coincidentally has dominoes on the front. He always seems to be one step behind Nita throughout her killing spree. Now Nita has to find victim number 2, deciding to check out the local pub, the Three Crowns, there's 3 again, after opting against killing her co-worker. Vicky may be racist, but that's not enough for Nita to kill her. She's gonna need a bit more. Oh. Here she'll find Keith Hollinger, the absolute creep who hit on her at work and who's said to have gotten away with the murder of his wife, something Gap confirms. This will be her next victim. Stalking him back home, she's caught, but Keith thinks she's into him and invites her over for some sexy dancing. The interesting thing about Keith is that when Nita goes to kill him, he accepts it.
This is what I deserve.
And thus Keith becomes Nita's second victim. But there's a problem. His flatmate and brother Chris has seen her. If Nita's going to prevent the apocalypse, she'll have to kill the witness, even if he's a completely innocent man. What ensues is a super awkward hammer and knife fight which sees Chris stabbed in the chest. Nita should be done her 3 kills, but a line still remains on the talisman, so Gap calls his superiors, using the number 666 no less, and finds out Keith's kill didn't count because murderers are ineligible. You'd think he'd have learned that in demon school. So Nita has to go back to work and think about who to kill next. That's when Michael Smart comes in. Nita asks Gap if he'd be a good candidate, but he knows his superiors wouldn't be happy if Nita killed him. Technically, his kill would count towards the 3, but as we'll see when he shows Nita Michael Smart's future, this man is going to bring a lot of pain and hatred to the country. We get a glimpse of this when Michael asks who Vicky's gonna vote for. She wants the far-right National Front Party because they'll get those immigrants out of the country, but Michael tells her she'd just be throwing her vote away. The National Front has no chance of winning. Why not vote for him? And he basically tells her he's a racist in disguise.
You know what I stand for.
And this is backed up when Nita is shown Michael's future. We see a sign that Smart gets kicked out of the Tories for racist remarks, something that is also found in an article in Loch Henry. He starts a completely new party called Britannia, something he threatened to do in an article in Loch Henry as well. Even the Britannia party logo is in the shape of the white bear. In Michael Smart's Britain, people of color are surveilled, houses are raided, immigrants struggle, there's viruses, fires, and even the symbols at his campaign rallies would make Goebbels blush. There's even the use of those metal dogs from Season 4's Metalhead, something we can see Michael Smart was to unveil in Episode 2's Loch Henry. Len tracks down Nita after finding out she was also at the pub the night Keith was murdered. He has written proof that the two had met before, and it kinda makes her a suspect, but at this point he doesn't have any definitive proof. He lets her go and secretly follows her, soon realizing that Nita is also following Michael. I also found it really cheeky that Michael Smart listens to the Tannhauser Overture by Richard Wagner, a known anti-Semite. Nita does her best Fast and Furious, causing Michael's car to crash into a nearby tree, but unfortunately he's still alive and she has to finish the job. And I gotta say, I love the satanic choral music when she goes in. But Len is there to stop her and Nita is quick to...
For sure.
Alright, so what do you think about that episode?
Yeah, that's a good episode. I mean, I thought it was... it wasn't what I expected, but it's definitely good. But why they make it take place in the past? Why you think?
Because it was like the war that she saw when he made her see the future was the Cold War, like coming to fruition.
That's right.
So it was like,
that makes sense.
Nuclear,
yeah. That makes sense.
She fails, by the way.
Wow,
she fails, and there's definitely a nuclear holocaust. Everybody's like, they pick her up and put her in jail, and then the people are like, you said we were gonna die. This bitch was lying. You just wanted to kill those people. Haha, walk out the door. And then everybody's like, run to the windows, like, what the fuck is that?
And then it's a big bomb coming down.
And it's shockwave kills him. Damn. And then the lady ends up running away with the demon. Because the demon, if he fails, he gets thrown into like this infinite black abyss. Pretty much gets thrown into the void of space, right? And
she go with him.
Yeah, she's like, it's better than dying here. Might as well just go with him.
Wow, that's crazy.
You know,
that's almost like the episode where they
I mean, if you could choose between burning to death in hell and just floating forever in the abyss of space, I would probably choose the latter. I'm just saying, it sounds a lot less painless. I would just be like, I'm bored as fuck, but it could be worse.
See, every episode has made me think like, yo, this is crazy. What if this really happened? Like the one where it's like this. It's a Star Trek episode, and the guy, he takes different people's DNA and create a whole Star Trek show on a game.
Yeah.
It becomes real.
Yeah.
And they take over. They take over and they outsmart him, and he gets stuck in the game. And that part of the game shuts down, and they go to the next part, and they go to the updated version.
Yeah.
And he gets stuck in there like. That made me think like, dang. Like,
have you ever seen Sword Art Online?
Who?
Sword Art Online?
Nah, I ain't never seen it.
It's a similar concept. It's called full immersion VR. So like you put on the headset, but it's got a neural chip in it. So like you go there, like in that one episode of Black Mirror when they were fucking each other.
Yeah.
But this time there's a bad guy who locks everybody in the game. And if you die in the game, you die in real life.
Die in real life. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I know a lot of different movies and stuff that did that concept and stuff like that.
That's just crazy to think about. We so close to it right now.
Yeah, and that's the crazy part. We so close to it. Like, yo, that's like, wow. Like, they gotta have a safe button or a safe word to get out.
Cause imagine like when it gets to like that level of VR, it'll probably hurt you if you just yanked it off.
Yeah. If your mind gets stuck in there,
right?
You can't get out.
Think about like when you go scuba diving past a certain depth, you can't just come up.
Yeah.
You have to like come up gradually so that your lungs can decompress. Because if not, you could die from, your lungs still being constricted from being deep underwater. You feel what I'm saying?